Dreaming breaks science. And the one thing that I think is really cool about dreaming is that, like, at a time that you're supposed to be sleeping, you're actually doing all these calculations, experiencing really cool realities. Bro, dreaming is a wild concept that I do not understand. So let's watch this video.
Science doesn't really know why you dream. We humans know more about solar systems light years away than we do about our nightly hallucinogenic bedtime stories. Sure, we know that you mostly dream during rapid eye movement or REM sleep, and we know that REM sleep has a lot to do with forming memories, but why dream in all of this? What is the connection?
Do you guys actually like remember your dreams? Because I know there's a lot of people who don't even like can't dream. It's so weird. And I don't know if there's any of you here, but like tell me, do you remember your dreams? Because there's no way, bro, that you don't dream.
Between forming memories and hyper-realistic hallucinations of picnicking with Tom Hiddleston. There's not really any good answers. Science doesn't really know,
So
but
we don't
there
know.
are theories. And every theory
Why do we dream?
usually falls under one of two umbrellas. One side claiming that dreams have a primary function, and the other side saying that dreams are an epiphenomenon, or for those who only know regular person words, collateral damage of other primary functions. Meaning it's pretty much just an Easter egg of the brain. The primary function people look at it like this. See, we can observe by hooking people up with wires that during REM sleep, you are most often experiencing negative emotion, particularly anxiety. So these scientists reason that dreams are then to prepare us for threats, so we will be able to act in the midst of anxiety.
I feel like my dreams are 50-50. Sometimes I have like nightmares for a whole week. And then the other times I'm actually going to have some really fun dreams that I wake up and be like, dang it, like I kind of want to be there. So it's kind of 50-50 for me. What about you guys?
Anxiety in the real world, claiming that dreams are an evolutionary trait that early humans
Like it doesn't give me anxiety, you know what I mean? Sometimes.
that dreamed anxieties were more prepared to face actual events because they have felt the anxieties under maybe different circumstances in their dreams. So the scarier dreams you had, the more prepared you were. The epiphenomenon.
Bro, that reminds me when I first moved to Florida, I used to dream about alligators every single night, bro. And it got to a point that I would wake up and actually give me anxiety, bro. And freaking alligators. And I wake up, I'm like, bro, just I don't care about alligators. Why am I even dreaming about it in the first place? Something weird happens in my brain that wants to dream about alligators, but now I'm kind of over it. So we good.
People look at it from a different standpoint. They have the idea that during REM sleep, the unconscious part of our brain is sorting memories, throwing out the useless information and really dialing in what's important. The theory goes that the electrical impulses created whilst this is going on is detected by our conscious brain, and our cortex just kind of gets confused with all this noise and throws together a story to make sense of it, creating a dream. Also,
bro, I think I like to think that our brain's doing more than just kind of like cleaning the house. You know what I mean? I like the idea that that dreaming has a lot, like has a hidden power that we can't see, like some type of revelation maybe.
because it's your cortex, it will usually incorporate things that you think about often, hence why sometimes you'll dream of being fed grapes by Tom Hiddleston. This category of thinking says that dreams don't serve any purpose, and instead they're just a random byproduct. The problem I have with that standpoint is that our bodies have seemingly gone great lengths to ensure we're able to dream. For example, during REM sleep, your brain inhibits motor neurons in the spinal cord, essentially vegetabilizing you while you sleep so you don't act out your dreams. It's like your brain is going out of its way to dream. There are also cases—
Bro, what if dreams are like a way of communication from like a different reality trying to communicate with us? Like someone in a different realm or some type of like different dimension that is trying to reach out to us.
Where dreams themselves have seemingly helped people process information, going contrary to the idea that they are purposeless. For example, in 1845, an inventor named Elias Howe had been obsessing over an idea of a machine with a needle that would go through the cloth for you. But he had no idea how it would work. One night, he had a strange dream where he was about to be cooked by cannibals. Unfortunately, they didn't have Tom Hiddleston back then. The cannibals—
oh my gosh, this guy likes Tom, bro.
—were dancing around him with spears, about to throw him in a fire. But he noticed something strange about their spears. Each one had a small hole near the tip. When he woke up, he couldn't get the image of the strange spears up and down motion out of his mind. He then realized that was the key to making his machine work. Moved the hole from the back of the needle, like how it's done by hand, to the point of the needle, like this.
He received a revelation while dreaming. Bro, that reminds me like when I was a kid or like a couple of years ago, I used to dream about like creating the music hit, bro. Like, don't you have you guys ever dreamed about like just creating like music and then you wake up and then you like go find your phone because like, you got to record what you just you just create whole music in your brain while sleeping, and then you wake up, try to get your phone, and then record it, and then like you actually start humming to the phone and be like, yeah, bro, I'm gonna be famous. Next week, I'm gonna be famous. And then you wake up the next day, you listen back to the recording you did, and it sucks. It makes no sense, bro. Oh, I love dreaming. It's so fun. I wish I could lucid dream though.
Years. So it's thanks to a dream that he realized the technological possibility of this sewing machine. Carl Jung believed that dreams had a very significant meaning and seems to have a middle ground of the two categories of thinking. He stated that dreams are messages sent up from the unconscious. In his words, the dream is a spontaneous self-betrayal and symbolic form of the actual situation in the unconscious.
It's true though, like that's what I'm saying. You do get these hints in your brain every once in a while, and then once you wake up, you're like, oh yeah, it just clicked. It's crazy, bro.
The dream is specifically the utterance of the unconscious, and that's quite interesting to me. A little too many big words for my taste, but interesting nonetheless. I think that way of thinking appeals to me because for most of my life, I've had lucid dreams. Allow me to give you an example of a lucid dream. One night, I had a dream where I was locked sitting in my room.
I wish I could have lucid dreams.
But my room was empty, no furniture. I saw a wind-up toy lizard that began winding itself. Once it was done winding, it moved like a real-life lizard. Immediately after that, I thought to myself, yeah, this is a dream. So I got up, decided my door wasn't locked anymore, went to my driveway where a full dining room set from IKEA was set up, sat down and began having a philosophical discussion with Mr. Beast. Now, according to the epiphenomenon people...
Bro, if I could have lucid dreams, I think I would probably start flying right away and then go explore the galaxies and all the planets. Or I don't even know, bro. I wish I could lucid dream.
Your conscious formulates dreams. Well,
that reminds me that I used to like write down my dreams because I saw a TikTok video one time, a long time ago, or just a random video saying that for you to control your dreams, you have to write them down as soon as you wake up. So that trains your brain to actually know that you're dreaming next time you go to sleep. And I remember, bro, like literally just writing down my dreams because I was like, bro, I want to have lucid dreams. If I'm sleeping 8 hours a night, might as well have fun. Why would I want to dream about alligators and getting eaten by alligators, bro, when I can literally just control my dream and beat up the alligator myself? You know what I mean?
While your subconscious is hard at work. To me, this dismantles the epiphenomenon way of thinking and affirms Jung's beliefs, because when I ask my dream people troubling questions, I always get answers from a seemingly new perspective. I don't actively or consciously formulate a response to that question, so by definition, isn't that subconscious? But maybe we're just thinking about this wrong. The epiphenomenon people classify the subconscious as basically anything that's not your cortex, like your hippocampus and amygdala. But neither the hippocampus or amygdala could formulate a thought, like what I experience in a lucid dream. In fact, only one part of your brain can, the left hemisphere, or the right hemisphere, if you're a part of the outcast minority that is left-handers. Either way, your brain is split in half. If I were to ask you to solve 345 times 2 and explain your answer, that would almost
345 times 2 is 600, I don't know.
Entirely involve your left hemisphere. But
I actually can't think.
If I were to ask you to imagine
I'm bad at math.
Sunset rowboat ride in the middle of the ocean.
Hey, let's forget about that, bro. Let's move on.
Laying in the lap of Tom Hiddleston whilst watching the Minions movie.
That's why I didn't go to college, bro. I mean, I did, and then I dropped out.
That's your right hemisphere. While we see activity in both sides of the brain during REM sleep, there's one specific part that lights up, the right temporal lobe, or more inclusively for you left-hand weirdos, the non-dominant temporal lobe. This part of the cortex is involved in learning and remembering non-verbal information like visuospatial material, music, and the cinematography of that one Tom Hiddleston movie. Okay, so you are processing information during REM sleep then.
690. 690 is 345 times 2. I've been thinking about it this whole time the clip was rolling. Okay.
That seems clear, but my
Yeah.
observations during lucid dreaming seems
Yeah.
to contradict the idea that dreams themselves are just collateral. Maybe it has something to do with the corpus callosum, which connects the two hemispheres, but then Mr. Beast wouldn't be able to articulate himself. As you can see, it gets messy. Science kind of breaks, nothing makes sense, so let's turn away from science to a philosophical way of thinking to give us the illusion of an answer. Maybe
So we don't know. We just simply don't. Science can't explain dreaming.
dreams point out a path unknown to the waking conscious, giving much needed heedings of what's to come. In the form of Tom Hiddleston.
Tom, if you say Tom Hiddleston, what's that freaking guy again, bro? One more time. Good video. Good video. So tell me, do you guys know how to lucid dream? And if you do, please teach me, bro. Like, for real, I want to lucid dream. I want to have a little bit more fun in my dreams. Can you just control it like every single night? Or like sometimes you just can't do anything about it and you're just locked in. You know what I mean? So, heck yeah, let's watch the next video.